Hey guys, welcome back to Release the Craftin. Priscilla here for day 3 of hashtag rtcfanguary. That is Fanguary, the little week-long vampire-themed junk journal challenge that I have put together here. And yeah, we're 3 days into it, and the prompt for day 3 is Creatures of the Night. And I thought I wanted to do something very traditional, very straightforward for the whole vampire vibe, right? Obviously, we have bats, so we will use bats, but I also have this moon die cut that I'm going to use because I have the die and never use it. I only use the bats that came with the set. So yeah, we're going to use the moon for once. And so I have decided to ink it up a little bit around the edge so I can get a nice defined line, a little shading. And then I'm sticking it down to a piece of book page because if something shows through, I want the book page to be visible. But otherwise, it's just there for the support because I need a back for what I'm about to do. And what am I about to do, you're asking? As I'm about to bust out these stickles that I have had in my stash for a lifetime. And I'm really impressed that they aren't dried out and unusable. In fact, they're just like they're brand new. This is in the color gunmetal? Or the color pewter. I do not remember, and I don't know where I put it after I finished this. So, I was going to look at that so I could tell you guys what color it was. I found it. Never mind, just kidding. It's in the color Gunsmoke, so I wasn't even close. But yeah, I've had it forever. Never used it. So I decided to bust it out and fill in all the spaces in this moon that have been cut out, which was a pain. But art is pain. No, I'm just kidding. It was worth it, though. It was a little bit fuzzy, but I'm very happy with how it came out at the end. I would say the only tip to doing this is to just be careful with your lines and watch how you're dragging the tip through stuff so that you don't accidentally overfill your line. And make sure you don't have ink on your fingers when you touch stuff that you don't want to be inked that way. This mistake will happen again in a more egregious way. So yeah, learn from my mistakes, do as I say, not as I do. But now I'm going to add a little moody nighttime background to this, which will also be mostly covered up, but you know how I roll here. So I'm going to use some weathered wood distress ink. I also think maybe I use a little bit of Lost Shadow. I don't remember. I know I use Lost Shadow on the moon. And then some black soot. That's what the black color is called in distress ink. Black soot. To get this nice little moonlit night background. That's what I'm calling it. Yes, that's an intentional word that I'm saying that I'm calling this. And so, after doing that, I decide to spritz it with water to activate the oxides, and then I was like, the oxides aren't giving me the starry effect I want as much as I want it, and so I ended up adding in some splatters of white gesso, which look great now. Once they dry, they will suck up the distress oxide in the background and become more like the background that I intended, but they're still there. They're visible. They're just not as bright as I would prefer. I didn't need to water down my gesso so much, but I did. So, moving on, I decided to add just some more text to the background. Text has been the background I've decided goes with vampires the best. It's that and swirly doos. And then I decided that the text was too far forward, so I also obliterated my own stars by going back over to ink over the top of it a little bit so that I could drop it farther to the background because I felt like the text was popping forward too much. And then I just roughly inked around the edge with my stamp pad and got some like fun little interesting effects on the watercolor paper I'm using, but then I thought that was also too far in the foreground, so I inked those to the background as well. It's a process, but the process was worth it. So once the stickles dried, I loved how this came out. It's so sparkly and so fun. I busted out my bats. I stuck the moon down, busted out the bats, have to cover up the egregious thumbprint I put on the moon because, like I said, I have a running problem of putting my inky fingers on things I don't want to have inky fingerprints on. So just sort of playing around with the layout of the bats because I'm going for that very traditional, like, bats flying off in the sky across a moonlit, like, night. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with the word moon today. It's the struggle I'm having. Words are really hard. I hope that you guys have been enjoying this challenge so far. Everybody's making cool stuff. I will put the people who are posting to YouTube in the playlist down below, so if you've missed anybody's videos, you can check out that playlist. And make sure you go check out on Instagram, because some people don't have YouTubes, but they have Instagrams, so they're posting their stuff that they're doing. So you want to go check out that hashtag over there and see the stuff that people are doing over there and all the cool things that people are making for the end of January, February's Fanguary period, because yeah, it's really fun and I'm really enjoying it. And I think going into like February and Valentine's, it is the perfect time to get a little vampy and a little bit spooky. I added a little clipping sticker. It says Silence of the Night, because they are the creatures of the night, and it was the closest to that sentiment. And yeah, that's the whole tag, I think. I don't think I did anything else. Oh, I put it on the backing. Sometimes I show it and sometimes I don't. I don't know when I choose those moments. So it's a surprise for me, like you guys. I'm very happy with how this came out. It looks great. The moon is sparkly. I will be back tomorrow for another video, another installment of hashtag Fanguary. Catch me then, guys. Happy crafting. I appreciate your faces, and goodbye.